Welcome to the UCSD Guestbook. I'm Professor Benetta Jules-Rosette, Director of the African and African American Studies Research Project. And I have here with me acclaimed musician and composer, political activist, Thomas Mapfumo from Zimbabwe. And he will be playing his music at UCSD and as well giving lectures on politics and social change in Zimbabwe. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you.
Everyone would like to know, I think, a little bit about your background. How did you get started in music?
Well, I grew up in a rural area myself, in a country with my grandparents. They brought me up. I was a head boy, heading cattle and goats, and there was a lot of traditional music in the country. Like my parents were very much involved in, with traditional music. There was a lot of drumming and mbira playing. So actually, as a boy, I just loved music. And music was just part of my life. And when I moved from the country, going to stay in the city with my own parents, that's the very first time that I actually ever listened to radio music, because there were no radios in the country. So when I started listening to radio music, I was listening to a lot of music from America, music from South Africa, music from the Congo, music from all over Europe. That was something else compared to what I actually grew up with. This time, I was listening to bigger names like Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and all those other guys like the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and other bigger names. I thought music was quite beautiful. I especially rock and roll. I was involved very much as a kid, with rock and roll music. And I used to sing some of the songs, trying to imitate these big names. But anyway, as I was growing up, I grew up to be a man, and I was a big boy. I started thinking of my own identity and where I belonged. I realized that I was an African boy who grew up in the country. I had a culture to look after, and I started identifying myself with my own culture and identifying myself with my own people. Since Zimbabwe was a British colony under the British government. And our people were fighting for freedom. And when I started writing Chimrenga music, that's the very time when the Liberation War broke out in that country. We'll start with a song called Pfumvu Parizeva, which is a tune that I actually wrote during the liberation struggle, supporting the struggle. I was singing in plight of the people of Zimbabwe who lost their lives during the struggle. Some ran away from their homes to come and stay in the city, and some disappeared, and some were never seen again. Some lost legs, arms, and things like that. So this is the song Pfumvu Parizeva. Ruzeva. Wonderful Baba Gomosha. Wonderful Baba Ruzeva. Wonderful Baba Gomosha. Wonderful Baba Ruzeva. Wonderful Baba Gomosha. Yeah, you went in that Zorambe. 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 Moto ingazonyo makagarika mune pekurara ingazonyo makagarika munodya rinopisa ingazonyo makagarika mune mari muhomwe ingazonyo makagarika munofamba nemotokari ingazonyo makagarika munogara mutaundi wonavungu baba paruzeva wonavungu baba kumusha wonavungu baba paruzeva wonavungu baba kumusha yeiwe ingazorombe yeiwe ingazorombe yeiwe ingazorombe yeiwe ingazorombe makazvingwa here kuti mbuya vakashayikwa makazvingwa here kuti sekuru vakatiza makazvingwa here kuti kurima kwakapera makazvingwa here kuti mombe dzakapera makazvingwa here kuti misha yakapiswa makazvingwa here kuti mai hakuchina makazvingwa here kuti mukoma wakatorwa makazvingwa here kuti baba vakatiza wonavungu baba paruzeva wonavungu baba kumusha wonavungu baba paruzeva wonavungu baba kumusha yeiwe ingazorombe yeiwe ingazorombe yeiwe ingazorombe yeiwe ingazorombe Thank you.
And what year was that? Maybe we can tell people a little bit about the Liberation War, how it got started. It was around in the 1960s, right?
In the I think the real war started during the 70s, like maybe 73, 74, 75, going upwards. And that's the time I started, singing this type of music that I'm singing today.
And the word Chimurenga, that really means revolutionary struggle. Right?
Oh yeah, it means struggle.
And what were some of the messages? Because as I understand it, you used to pass secret messages for the soldiers and for the people in your songs. So a song would say something like the snake is hiding in the woods, right. But actually that would be a message to people.
Oh yeah. There were a lot of songs that were actually political, like a song Tumiravana Kuondo, send your children to war. I was actually encouraging the people to send their children to war to fight for the liberation of our people.
And how long did the liberation struggle last?
Well, it took so many years. I can't remember now, really. I can't remember how long it was, but it was really very, very long. We go on to the next song, which is called Wawanda Kauregera. I'm singing about beer. I'm saying I stopped drinking beer, and I'll never ever drink beer again.
maserekea wakati metuna wakati maserekea wakati maserekea Baba Mondeli
independence. Officially, it's dated April 18th,
That's right.
1980,
That's
but
right.
it really wasn't really over on April 18th, 1980.
No, it wasn't over, because after the independence celebrations, there broke another war. Another war broke out between this time it was a civil war between ZAPU PF and ZANU PF, because these two were the major liberation armies who fought in the struggle, and now when they fought, they were together in the war, and they called themselves the Patriotic Front. Yeah. But when it came to the elections, they had to go their different ways. And their ideologies, they had different ideologies. So they couldn't agree. Mugabe won, and Ngomo lost. And Mugabe was trying to bring in Ngomo into the government.
To have a sort of coalition government.
That's right. But I think the conditions were not really good for Ngomo. He didn't want that. Maybe he wanted a better share of the whole thing. But, well, there was this civil war, and there were a lot of Zipra fighters who ran away from the army, and they were staying in the bush, and they killing a lot of government ministers and those who supported Mugabe. Matebele land was a no-go area for the people of for the Shonas, because this is in Ndebele province.
And so people should know that there are two major ethnic groups in Zimbabwe, the Shona and the Matabele. And the Matabele are descendants of the Zulu from South Africa.
That's right. They actually migrated from South Africa, coming to stay in Zimbabwe. And
they're located in the western part of Zimbabwe, while the Shona people are located in the middle and in the eastern part of Zimbabwe.
True. That's very true.
And so the Matabele area then became sort of taboo for the Shona people.
Oh yeah, that's very true. After that, Mugabe decided to call for a round table meeting with Ngomo. They discussed this whole issue, and they came to an agreement that they have to unite in order for the country to survive. And they agreed, and they came together. There was unity between these two. They formed a coalition government, and Joshua Ngomo was actually made the vice president, and Robert Mugabe the president. But things didn't actually go well. Today the situation in Zimbabwe is just bad. It's just as bad as it was during the colonial days. People are still suffering. And
we are going on to the next song, which is called Pidigori Waenda. We are singing about people who are evil, people who can commit all sorts of crimes, people who haven't got a heart, people who can kill, people who deny other people their freedom, people who are dictators. So when such persons die, the whole world rejoices. Pidigori Waenda. Ndakazoti ndawana mukaranga mai Ndakazoti ndanyatsokutarisa ndakaona inga richiwata-wata. My way, richiwata-wata. My way, richiwata-wata. My way, richiwata-wata. My way, richiwata-wata. Ndakazoti ndawana mukarangama. Ndakazoti ndanyatsokutarisa ndakaona inga richiwata-wata. Pidikoni waenda wanga sinyanya kufaira. Kuna memba, makomana kuna, kuva kuna memba, makomana kuna, kuva kuna memba, makomana kuna iwe, kuva kuna memba, kuri waenda, pidi kuri waenda, wanga sinyanya kuvaira. Wind. Ndakaona watari chifamba ndakazoti ndawana mukarangama. Ndakazoti ndanyatsokutarisa ndakaona inga richiwata-wata. Kuna memba, makomana kuna iwe, kuva kuna memba, makomana kuna iwe, kuva kuna memba, makomana kuna iwe, kuva kuna memba. Kuri waenda, pidi kuri waenda, wanga sinyanya kuvaira. kuna iwe hakuna memba wakomana kuna hakuna memba wakomana kuna iwe hakuna memba wakomana kuna iwe hakuna memba bidikori waenda bidikori waenda bidikori waenda wanga sinyanya kuvaira. Is no more. He is 6 feet under. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And you've recently released an album entitled Chimurenga Rebel. And this deals, I believe, with the situation today. And what are some of the things that you sing about on that album?
There is some really political messages within this CD, like Marima Nzara. You are inviting hunger by fighting against the commercial farmers. We invited hunger in our country. Those farmers are no longer in that country. They've decided to go somewhere else. Some went to Mozambique and some went to South Africa. Some even went to Zambia. Now our people have no food because we chased away the farmers.
So there's really a famine in process.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And what about, we hear a lot in the papers in the United States about the land redistribution in Zimbabwe. What's going on there?
The future lies with the Zimbabwean people. They have to decide their own destiny. There are problems in that country, yes, of course, because of the land issue. And well, as you know, our people need land at the same time, but it has to be done in a proper manner. We must use proper channels. Talk to those who own the land today, and bring them to a round table, discuss with them the way that we can redistribute the land to the people. The way it was done, it was just like a political gimmick. This man wanted support from the people. He knew very well that the opposition party was becoming very, very popular with the people. So this is why he turned to the land issue. It was all a political gimmick, and it's a failure, as you have been reading from the news. There is no food in Zimbabwe. Our people are suffering. There is no petrol, gas. You see long queues of cars queuing for gas, for food, for bread, for everything. So our people are struggling. But anyway, we have to liberate ourselves, because we are the Zimbabweans, and this is our own problem. But we also ask the outside world to help, the Zimbabwean people.
We cannot just grab the land from them. this whole issue didn't start today. It started with our forefathers.
Yes.
Yes. So these are only children who they don't even know what happened. So, but as children, we have to sit down and maybe try to discuss our problems. We do not want to wash our dead linen in public.
Yes, so this should be done, you think, with perhaps a governmental or political commission where you would have a discussion of how land distribution would take place.
That's true.
And then that it should be done in a fair way.
In a fair way. Whereas today, well, those, farms that are being taken away from the white commercial farmers, they are just being given to people who don't even have a know-how of how to till the land, and government officials are taking over those farms. It's not a national issue this time. All those farms are being given to those who support Robert Mugabe.
Do you have a song about this? Have you composed any music that deals with some of these issues?
Yeah, there is a song in one of our latest CDs, which is called Toy Toy. It's still to be released here in America, maybe in the summer. We'll be listening to that CD. It's about the land issue. Pasi Inaka, which means nobody owns the land. The land is for every one of us.
Yes.
We are just passerbys.
Yes. That's a good point.
Yes. And the land doesn't belong to any one of us. It's God-given. So we are passing through, and those who are coming will still live in the same land.
And now, speaking of land and travel and moving, you live in the United States. You live in Eugene, Oregon. Can you tell us a little bit about how it is you ended up in Eugene, Oregon?
I did that for my children, because I have children who are still going to school. My daughter, she's very bright. Chieza. She's just, in a world of her own. She's just somewhere else, and she's very bright. And I've got my youngest daughter, who is 6 years old. My son is just graduated from the high school, and he's here with me. He came driving my car. And I did that for my family, because I wanted my children to go to school, go on with their studies peacefully.
Yes.
Because in Zimbabwe there are a lot of disturbances. Otherwise, it's not safe for my children to be in that country, because they won't, be able to pursue their studies, peacefully.
And what about the educational system in Zimbabwe? I know that you've been supporting the Federation of Teachers of Zimbabwe. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening with that? Yeah,
it's like now everything is going down. The teachers are complaining, and they are not actually satisfied with the wages that the government is paying them. And they actually made me the patron of their union, because I actually stand for the voiceless, and my music stands for the voiceless. And they decided to offer me this position as their patron, and I really need to to work together with them and help them, maybe raise some money for the union. The band might be playing some of their gigs that they are going to organize, and then we'll donate the money to the union. We need to help the teachers. The education system is not really very, very good because there are no good teachers today. They just pick anyone with just little education and say, go and teach the children. Most of the teachers are reluctant to work now because of the money problem. They're not getting enough, so they
could do better if they went into business so on. So it's hard to get an incentive.
That's true.
And we in the United States have the same thing. The teaching profession at all levels, from kindergarten through the university, is very important, but often people choose other professions or other careers because the rewards are not always what they would like to get after spending a lot of time in training to become teachers.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's one university in Zimbabwe only, the University of Zimbabwe in Harare.
There is some other universities, like there's another one in Bulawayo, I remember, and there's another one in Mutare. I think there are quite a few now, because I think the United Methodist Church managed to build one university in Mutare, and there's another one in Bulawayo that makes, three of them. And they are in the process of trying to build more universities.
That's very good. I'd like to return a little bit to your music because everyone's interested as well in you. And this is a book that's recently come out by Thomas Torino, a professor at the University of Illinois, called Nationalism, Cosmopolitanism, and Popular Music in Zimbabwe. And it contains an entire very long chapter on your work.
Okay.
And Professor Torino discusses your work as a composer. Can you tell us a little bit about how you go about composing your music and arranging your music?
Yeah, well, I'm a composer as well as an arranger. I do arrange everyone in that band.
Yes.
There are about
how many in the band?
17 members of the band.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many are here at UCSD? We have 4, right?
Yes.
4 are playing for us. And you have 17 in the full band.
Yeah.
That's a huge, that's a little village into itself.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have brass, you have strings, you have the mbira, guitar, and bass.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So actually, when I come up with a tune, maybe it could be just, I would just start humming a tune from nowhere, and usually I don't get a paper and pen and try to write the words down. I always try to figure it out in my in my head, right, and try to arrange everything. And after I maybe try to sing the tune by myself for some time, or the whole day, I could spend the whole day singing that same tune, and then I try to arrange it myself. After doing that, the only thing that I have to do is to go to the other members of the band who do the backings and things like that. I talk to them, I give them the tune. We start working together to make it a full song.
So you don't use any instrument when you compose? You compose kind of in your head and
that's
sing.
Right. Sometimes I do that playing my guitar.
Okay.
Sometimes a tune just come into my head, and I'll just work on it, just like that. And then I'll take it to the rest of the group and sing to them the tune, and they'll try to follow, my vocal cords, things like that, and I will start arranging everyone, like the guitars, the way they should play, the drums, and the brass section, and even the girls, the backing vocals. I have to arrange all these. If there are any other things like the keyboard, I have also to arrange everyone and make sure that they do exactly like I want.
Because a full band is really a large operation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the history of the mbira, just for people who may not know? The mbira is a finger piano, and then it's inside of a large gourd.
Right.
And these days they put Coca-Cola bottle caps on to make the percussive sound around the gourd.
Right, right.
And can you tell us a little bit about the history of the mbira? Because it was a sacred instrument first.
Yes,
and
yes.
now it's in popular music.
All right, right.
We go on to the next song, which is a traditional tune, Zimbabwean traditional tune. This song is associated with our medium spirits, associated with our world of spirits. It has something to do with our ancestors. As you know, this mbira instrument, long time ago, it wasn't allowed to be recorded or to be produced on a radio, on a record, or to be recorded or be played on radios. This is a sacred instrument concerning our ancestors, our spiritual world. The song called Ndakangana Baiwa. Lagangana baiwa, woyere, Lagangana baiwa, Lagangana baiwa, Lagangana baiwa, woyere, Thank you so much.
Yes, this is a very sacred instrument. It has something to do with our world of spirits, where some of us are possessed with the spirits of their ancestors. And mbira is their music, is that their major instrument. You don't go wrong about that, and because there are those who we call rainmakers. Those are medium spirits with the powers.
Who can predict the rain.
Predict rain and do other things like that, and they'll even tell you what the situation will be like in the country, and those are called the medium spirits. And the mbira itself is their secret instrument. That music, the mbira music, is their music,
which they use to call the spirits and call the ancestors.
They call the ancestors and the spirits. Whenever they gather around in a big hut, everyone is there. Where there are a lot of mbira players. Maybe you would find 10 of them. Wow. Yes, playing for the medium spirits.
And that involves a long apprenticeship, doesn't it? To learn to play the mbira as a spiritual instrument, calling the mediums, one medium or one master would teach younger people and students.
Oh yeah.
Is that how you learned about music when you were in the village, in the rural area?
Well, in the rural area, there was what they used to call the music of the youth.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because the mbira music is not for the youth.
Yes.
It's for the medium spirits.
Yes.
And the youth had their own type of music. When the elders are gathered inside the big hut, the youth go outside. They do their own thing.
And they do their own thing, while the elders have the mbira inside.
Right.
But what you tried to do is, in a way, bring the two together, because you have the mbira within your band.
Oh yeah. I actually did that because I thought if when I listened to the sound of the mbira and comparing it with other instruments, modern instrument, it was just another instrument.
Yes.
And I thought it was going to be very exciting if we could, bring it in and make a fusion of it with our modern instruments.
Yes.
And then when we did that, it sounded really, really good.
And you had to really get a new way of tuning the guitar, the electric guitar, so that it would be tuned like the mbira.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We have to, because as you know, the mbira hasn't got many keys. Yes. It has very few keys. Like today, with the guys that we have who are playing this instrument, they have many of them on stage, so that when you change keys, they will just, take the one which is tuned to the key that you want to use.
Because you can't really change keys as you can in a guitar,
that's right,
for example. So you just have to take a whole different mbira.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, and tune them to different keys with a guitar.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And are some of these mbiras now electric themselves? Do they plug in, or are they all still in the natural acoustic form?
They are still in the natural acoustic form, but you can always put some pickups
next to them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And what about the outside of the gourd? Is that ever used for drumming purposes, or is that only used as a kind of a resonance?
Yeah, it's not for drumming. It's not for drumming.
It's just to make the echo resonance sound for the mbira, to increase the mbira sound.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it will be the Coca-Cola bottles or the shells outside that will make the rattle.
The rattle.
It's really impressive. I think people will have a chance during this show to see how the mbira works, and the mbira with the guitar.
We're gonna go on to this other song, which is a happy song called Bhutesu America, Daddy's Long Shoe. It's just a dancing tune. It's a traditional tune. Actually done by the people who live in the other province of our country, which is called Murewa, and they call this type of dance Jerusalem. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
And it gives, to me, a kind of a rolling sound. It sounds almost like the ocean, because it flows.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. It just got really, beautiful sounds, because you can actually play so many different kind of music with that instrument. You can even, when we played with Leo Smith Wadada, we used some of the, we used mbira on some of the, on some of the tracks.
This is the album made with Wadada Leo Smith, professor of music at Cal Arts. And this is experimental avant-garde music, or you might want to call it jazz.
Oh, yeah.
And not at all the Chimurenga revolutionary music. Quite beautiful album, I think.
Oh, yeah.
What was your experience in doing that?
Oh, well, we had a very good experience with Leo Wadada. He's quite a good musician, and he was introduced to me by Al Green, and we decided to get together. We got the rest of our bands together. We were playing together. The two bands were just all involved with every song that was played there. All the bands were just playing, each man playing what he feels was good for him. So, well, it came out beautifully.
It really did. It really, I recommend this strongly to people because it combines jazz sound, a little bit of soul music, African sounds. It's really a fusion piece, even classical music as well. All of that comes into it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really interesting. Was it just improvised, or did you have a lot of rehearsals? How did you manage that?
What Leo came with his tunes, and he said, what are you gonna do? Can you put some lyrics on these tunes? And I just organized my girls who do the backing vocals, and we worked on the music together. We didn't actually have to do, rehearsals so much. It happened in,
it just kind of flowed.
Yes, in the studio.
That is just wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And what that represents to me, Thomas, is it seems to me that with your years, you've been in the United States how long now? It's like
I'm thinking this is the fourth year.
Fourth year.
No.
So after 4 years, you're sort of developing some roots here as well as in Zimbabwe. And this kind of collaboration really shows, what world music is about, being out in the world and having musicians from different places really collaborate together. But also, and what I really like about that collaboration, it's not one in which a musician from the United States or Europe goes to Africa and finds people and puts them in his band. It's, as you described, two bands coming together on equal footing, doing a mutual project, maintaining something of the integrity of each band.
Really, that was some experience that we had, and it really came out beautifully, and I liked everything because music, like we say, we have always said, music is just music, no matter where it is coming from, no matter in what language it is sung.
Our next song is called Chinungu Chandikonza Msana, which is a happy song with traditional tune. It's just a happy song to dance to. It's called Chinungu Chandikonza Msana. mukoma shetuka yemukoma wende kana chemberedze kwedu dzodzikawo pasi shetuka yemukoma wende kana vana vekwedu vodzikawo pasi vosvetuka yemukoma wende kana chemberedze kwedu dzodzikawo pasi svetuka yemukoma wende chinongo chandikonze msana chinongo chandikonze msana chinongo chandikonze msana chinongo chandikonze msana mai vedu Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Here we are. We got this CD, the joint venture of Thomas Mapfumo and Leo Wadada Smith. It came out beautiful. Everyone liked it. One of the songs there was a hit back home. And people are looking for this CD because it's not released.
It's hard to find everywhere, I must say.
Oh, yeah.
We need to, but we'll have some around UCSD, but it's difficult. One of the things, this leads us to maybe one of my concluding questions, a question about world music in general. We were talking about it the other day when we first met, and what do you think about this whole thing of world beat? Where is it going with the market, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of this category of music?
Well, I think the world beat is going to, for it, to succeed, people have to understand exactly what we are dealing with. Because when we say world music, we're talking of every type of music that we listen to on this earth, and that is what we call world music today. Some people would like to call music they give titles to their music and say my music is called this, and I say my music is Chimurenga. But I think the suitable title would be world music, because it's the world is comprised of different cultures, and bringing those cultures together, then we have to call the whole thing world music.
So this works for you, and I think be very interesting. I recommend to people African and African American Studies Research Project. We just had a whole issue of our magazine on world music.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it does have that positive side of bringing cultures together.
Oh, yeah.
Some people worry as well that it may have a negative side of exploiting different cultures.
No, I don't think that will happen, because music is for entertainment.
Yes.
So there is no thing like exploitation.
So you think as long as that world music really gives a place?
Oh yeah. Because what happens is that you don't have to, like me, I'm an African from Africa, and I play African music. But I don't concentrate on African music only. I have to listen to other types of music. And maybe I can get a thing from there and make a song out of it.
Yes, but by bringing together the different influences,
yes,
and that's what you would define as world music, really. All of these influences coming from different places.
That's true, that's true.
And I recently noticed, for example, in the New York Times, every week there's a new article on African music, and one author referred to African popular music as the best of world music.
Oh yeah.
And I think, Thomas, that you are on the top, the best of the best. So we're very fortunate to have you. I've really enjoyed this discussion with you, Thomas, and I'd like to thank you very much for joining us here at the UCSD Guestbook and for joining us for a week at UCSD. Thank you.
Thank you.
Corruption. society. Corruption, corruption, corruption in the society. You can't get away with corruption. Watch out, my friend. We're gonna get you everywhere. There's corruption. Everyone seems corrupt. Something for something, nothing for nothing. 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 Corruption, corruption, corruption in the society. Corruption, corruption, corruption in the society. Corruption, corruption, corruption in the society. Watch out, my friend. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.